So let's take a quick break so we don't have to stay on much longer. Maybe 5 minutes to just get up and stretch and refill your glass or something, and then we'll come back and hammer it out. Does that sound good? I see thumbs up. Let's do it. I'm sitting on a dining room chair. It's not exactly ergodynamic type. How many minutes? 10 minutes? 15? You guys use your hands. 10, 5, 10. All right, let's do 5. I like that. All right, we'll do 7 minutes. So it's a good compromise. And it's a fun odd prime number. So yeah, Michael, if you can do it for 7 minutes, then we'll come back and kind of share really quickly. And then I want to talk a little bit about the WHO in April 25th. So yeah.
All right, give me 1 minute because people have either come or gone. So I'm going to quickly put a couple of folks in a different group real quick. Breakout 4.
Exciting. You don't know what's going to happen. Just like every day, right? Even though we're on repeat.
Okay. You're going to be gone for 7 minutes. You'll get a 1 minute warning. See y'all soon.
Good luck. All right. So I know that was a quick 7 minutes for my group, which is fine. And I just kind of want to remind you guys that we 100% realize that anything that comes back from the students is a small miracle, would be the best way to put it. So we're not really expecting much from them, but from you guys just kind of thinking through a lesson plan. Should it not be in a pandemic, like let's think post-pandemic, using this in the classroom, how you guys could write something and kind of put it together. My group did have some questions. Is Josh still on? Josh Mobile. Yeah.
Hey, Becky.
Hey, so Christy had a question for you that I have no idea about.
Well, I'm a little nervous because I don't know if I'll have an idea, though I'm happy to try to answer.
Yeah.
Josh, my question was, and the answer might be something specific like Canvas, but if we decided to create a curriculum where they got to choose a path, like for example, for a younger group, maybe we only wanted to give them like 4 choices for communications, just so they didn't get lost maybe the first time through. And so maybe some kids choose infographic and whatever. So if they choose one pathway, maybe we have 3 learning steps we want for them. Watch this video, answer these 2 questions. Do you know of a simple, low learning curve system that would be easy to design that in?
I would love to try a few things out and try things with you, but nothing. So my short answer, no, nothing comes to mind right away. Sorry, follow-up question. Do you have anything in mind, or are there any systems that you use or have used in your class?
We use Google Classroom.
Okay.
And so I can use Google Classroom. I can post a video. I can post assignments. I can grade stuff. I'm just thinking of directed pathways. And someone in our group mentioned Canvas had that ability. But anyway, but something that I do that has to have continuing education. I literally click it. It's called a learning pathway. I click it.
Got it.
Pops up. I watch a video or do something, answer questions, and it takes me to step 2. And
That's
so
helpful.
that may be too technological for something we want to invest in, but I just thought it would be a fun way to have choices. And
I love the idea of having these different pathways. So apart from like a manual version where you're like sort of literally creating the hyperlinks between, step 1, step 2, step 3 of each of the, 4 pathways. I don't have like a good, like nothing comes to mind where it's like, oh, there's this perfect, thing I've seen just to do just that. So yeah, thanks for asking. I'll think on it more if you'd like. I'd be happy to continue communicating about it and trying to brainstorm together.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thanks.
Stephanie mentioned that you might be able to do it in PowerPoint, GitHub.
You can, but you have to, you have to put in all the hyperlinks like he was talking about. Christy,
Okay.
I try to do that all the time, and I can't come up with a great way. But it's like my dream. So if you come up with something, it really is my dream. Like Which Way books were my favorite as a kid. And so I really would love to be able to do that. And so I do it with hyperlinks, but it takes forever.
Right.
Time.
So would this be something that if we were to do this again, if we developed this over the summer, kind of like on the website, and like, if one teacher decided to say, like, I'm going to create this lesson plan this way, and this other lesson plan this way, and then we can kind of have those pathways kind of shared already on the internet? Is that kind of what you're thinking? Yay, nay. You can do that type of stuff with Google Forms.
That's an interesting idea. So what Stephanie, did you ask the initial question about the different pathways? Was that another?
No, that was Christy.
Christy, sorry. Christy, is what Becky was describing similar to, but a little different in that what Becky's describing would be like our different lessons, like from different folks, where you're thinking of kind of sub parts of a single lesson, or is it similar enough that like I do love the idea, Becky, of us like kind of building something or trying to find something, and then we could sort of do some of the work combined with compiling parts from others.
Yeah, because our goal here is to get kind of what you guys have and put it together into different ways, so that 5 years from now somebody wants to continue with this and we have no funding, they can find your all's curricula and your lesson plans and move forward with it.
Michael, I think the answer could be if we had a big dry erase board and we were all talking, we could put like a sample idea on the board, and I think that we could probably take something that works for the teachers, right? Because I know as a teacher who doesn't do mosquitoes every day, I have to go back and look and where was that? And sometimes I'll have to send an email and be like, I've looked for 20 minutes. I can't, so a pathway in my head makes a lot of sense, just organizationally. I am playing with Google Slides Q&A. So, maybe there's something in that. I just haven't gotten deep enough in that yet. So I was just curious if anybody had anything that they had tried that helps with the pathway idea.
Okay. And since we kind of, just came back from different groups or breakout rooms or any of the other rooms, just kind of reminder, don't really need products from the students, hoping more products from you guys as if there was no pandemic, right? Like something that you would love to have been able to do, which is, I think some of you guys had already put that together for the GIS lesson plan, right? You guys weren't even able to put that into the classroom, which is unfortunate.
Like, I got a little bit of the GIS online but I've only got about one kid out of the 20 that actually responded, that actually did it really well. The rest of them, various degrees of good. So it's not that easy to do.
Yeah.
Becky, I'm having a little bit of a hard time technologically because my internet is kind of glitching. But I think in order for me to hook the kids, especially the fact that we're not in school anymore, and my kids did a really good job of the 10 weeks of baiting and collecting and whatnot. Can you give us a consolidated update on where you guys are at regarding like patching, DNA collections, et cetera, because for our kids, they're so hands-on that's really kind of like what is going to hook them.
Yeah, so we finished
to take the next steps.
We finished all of our IDing and got that information to you guys for the maps, but my lab is currently closed.
Oh, really? So the core people can't work there?
No.
Are you serious?
I've actually made the request for them to stay home and stay safe. And so they're doing other things from their home.
Gosh.
Yeah, we're not having the university is like our restrooms aren't being cleaned right now. So I think it's a
So the scientists have gone home. They're not going to be able to carry on the project?
No, so just think of it as a pause.
Okay, I'm
We're all
listening.
we're all in a pause right now. So Corey's smiling and Michael's smiling too, because it's
So,
kind
so how do the mosquitoes take a pause? I mean, are they not reproducing? I mean, what's happening to allow them to be on pause?
we can do field work because our field work is an isolating task. We're going out right now collecting ticks, and we'll start some mosquito surveillance soon. But we, for the safety of my group, I don't want them going in and, potentially being near somebody who is
No,
infected. Yeah.
I guess what I understood and where I think the gap is I knew that you hatched our eggs, right? Got that.
Correct.
But after that, I thought we were the next step was to go into DNA testing to see if any of them had any diseases. So where are we at in that phase?
We are waiting to do that.
So can that phase scientifically be put on hold without losing the...
Yep, they're sitting in a -80 freezer waiting for a non-rainy day, right? Like a healthy day.
So I guess my point is maybe if you could put together some kind of a synopsis on that we can communicate to the kids.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be real super detail oriented. It just has to be an overview of where we're at in the process, because that's what we communicated to our kids, and that's what they were invested in.
No, totally.
If we want to challenge them to the next step, I think we owe it to them to give them the summary report of where we're at and why we're there. Even the fact that the COVID, played a role in this, and how you guys are all handling that scientifically, because I think that's really cool and that's really important.
Yeah. No, we had hoped to have that done today, but it's hard.
No biggie.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to be honest. Micah and I have talked about how we're going to get this done, and it's hard, and getting together with it's just going to take me a little bit of time. So patience is appreciated.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had to rewrite a lot of laboratory practices in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, because this is real, live world stuff that scientists have to deal with. So I think that part is just as important as the pause button. It's like the pause button almost gave you license to explain how the scientific world really happens. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
So if you could put together a short 5-minute video on that we could play and put on Google Classrooms, I think that would be so cool.
You don't want to hear it because it'd probably be a lot of cursing, to be honest.
Well,
Corey's face is oh my God, yes.
Trust me, I understand.
Yeah. So I guess just to kind of bring us back. So again, I don't expect you guys to be doing this with your students. Okay, so I'm going to make that very clear. I have zero expectations of you guys being able to pull off anything in the form of communications in the classroom and teaching this to your students, right now, and then even giving us any deliverables back on that side of things. But I do think, if you guys could, start thinking about what you wish you could have done, lesson plan wise, curricula wise, that would be spectacular, right? And if you could do it with your students, that highly exceeds all of our expectations. And I just would be very surprised, I guess is the way. Because the students are students, right? They don't want to be behind the screen any more than we want to be behind the screen. They're people. And so I just want to kind of make that clear. It is 1:50, and I promised you guys, pretty soon that we'd be over. So I just want to share with you guys really quickly, why we chose April 25th as the day for the communication workshop. And for me, it's because today is actually World Malaria Day. It's the day we talk about, all of the kids who are infected with a mosquito-borne protozoan, and this malaria kills more people in the world than a lot of other things. And 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 so it's important to me. So today is World Malaria Day. It's a big science communication day for us in the medical entomology field, in basically all of our systems, is a way to put it. And this is really pushed heavily by WHO. And they have a new campaign that started this past year, and I think it goes really kind of closely with what we're trying to do with lacrosse encephalitis. Specifically, this Zero Malaria Starts With Me campaign. The idea of getting the community involved with mosquito control, mosquito education, and eradication, ideally. They have key messages. They have what we've been talking about, social cards that they're sharing with people. So this Zero Malaria Starts With Me. Every 2 minutes, a child dies of malaria. All children should have access to life-saving services that can prevent, detect, and treat the disease. And you can see it's, pictures of the kids, what people can do about it, creating this action here. Sleeping under insecticide-treated nets is one of the most effective ways to prevent malaria. Spraying the indoor walls of ceilings and homes with insecticides is a powerful way to rapidly reduce malaria transmission. Getting tested, being treated quickly, so all of these different ideas here. And these I really think are nice because they follow that the principles that Micah had talked about. Here's one picture, and there's kind of 3 lines, and then of course you got to throw the logos on, right? Who did the work? There's also, let's see, I had a video, the heroes, so how they've been working on it. Somewhere I saw basically they're everywhere trying to get the message out. So this is really kind of why I wanted to end it with this. I'll throw this down into the chat for one last link. And then.
And Becky, you've got a question from Christy Ridley as well.
Okay, okay, it's moved up here. Sorry, when I did the share screen, it changed on me. Hold on a second, sorry. I'm gonna throw this in because I will forget. Christy, your question is, have you and your students had any ideas on why many of the eggs did not hatch? No, so we just actually finished entering our data set to do the comparison. So we aren't even close to being able to tell you that yet, sorry. We had students having to move out of dorms and go back to other counties. It's been a hard couple of weeks for all of us. Yeah. And then, out of curiosity, has sickle cell anemia become more prevalent in people in these malaria-prone regions? So it's not that it's become more, I don't know if more prevalent's the right word. I don't know what the right word is.
Yeah, me either. I went from more common to more prevalent to more, I didn't know what the word was, but it seems like people surviving it would be more likely to have sickle cell.
So
that was kind of a natural cellular adaptation. So I didn't know if that's seen more often in the population.
Yes, so we definitely see it more often in areas with malaria.
Okay. But with cases, since malaria is going up, I'm assuming is malaria still, like the number of cases escalating, or is it actually stabilized since there's more medicine and preventatives?
I'd say it fluctuates based upon funding. Because funding through the President's Malaria Initiative that started about 20 years ago is starting to have decreased funding in it. That's kind of part of the reason why the Zero Malaria Starts With Me, because just funding changes have been happening. So it fluctuates. Makes me think I need to bring in another speaker that I know of that works really closely with the President's Malaria Initiative, and who actually is helping to try to make these decisions in different countries for malaria control. So it's heterogeneous in the country. A big fear right now is what happens with mosquito control in South and Central America, in Africa, and in Southeast Asia with coronavirus. So right now we have huge dengue outbreaks occurring in South America. Malaria doesn't stop. What happens when you throw coronavirus into an already very difficult health situation? There's lots of new questions happening. All right. And then we're at 156. And so, Michael, it's up to you if you say yes or no to your question. He sent me a private chat.
Do it.
Do it. Okay. Let me hit stop share because I get distracted by. All right. There's one thing I found while we were here too. So I want to share that with you guys also before we go. So we have kind of, I don't know what the right phrase is, but with coronavirus and COVID-19, we cannot bring on new educators into the program this summer. It has been very, we've had to be making lots of quick decisions. And so what we're hoping is that maybe some of you would be interested in participating in cohort number 2. If you are, okay, good, yay, thank you. Just ending on a small positive. Because I think, this first year we did okay. I think we can do better. And I think if we had you guys along for that second year, it would be a much better program for other educators to be involved with. So, I don't know exactly how we'll be able to do an in-person format in June. It won't be possible on UT's campus. We can't do anything until August 1st. But, if things go okay, we could probably still have a symposium. We were going to plan it at Calhoun's this year on the river. We could maybe do something in August to kind of get back together and regroup and kind of, how we can do this mosquito surveillance better. So things that we had already kind of talked about, is a 6-week program, 6 OVA traps, maybe adding a few sites, maybe not. If anybody's interested in collecting this summer, that's something I think that would be spectacular if you guys just want to kind of keep working on it or not. We'll create some kind of Google survey to see what you guys are kind of up for and not up for. I know that in the fall, all we got were Aedes albopictus. Really curious if you do have, Tricereus or Japonicus, in this early spring that we just kind of missed because the weather was what the weather was. So yes, we are hoping that you guys could stay on as cohort number 2 if you guys are up for it. So yeah, I think that was the other idea. Cool. And then before I just hit leave meeting, I did find, because I thought,
you need a picture.
Oh yeah, group picture. We've already been losing people though, so you should do it quickly.
All right, I'm going to do a countdown from 3, and give me your best smiley, happy, so happy to be on Zoom face.
This is my Zoom face.
Yeah, I know. That's how I feel too at the end of the day. All right, so I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody.
It's like the first time I've seen Brian in a long time. Sorry, calling you out there. All right, so I did find a TikTok, Christy. When you asked for it, I was like, I wonder if there are any TikToks for mosquitoes. So I did find one, and this one is fantastic. Can you hear it or not?
No.
Okay. Can you hear it now?
No.
Audio. No?
It looks funny.
Those are red blood cells.
Yeah.
All right, I have no idea if you guys could hear it or not.
Nope.
You hadn't. Okay, I'm sorry. But the link is down here, and I think it's a great message on what happens when a mosquito bites you. Right? Those guys are red blood cells, and they're getting sucked up by the mosquito and the pool tube needle and all of that. But it's down there in the corner. My computer's weird when it comes to. So I've got nothing else. It's 2:02. I promised you guys to. If you guys don't have any questions, hopefully I'll see you soon or get an email from you soon. Take care. Wash your hands.
Peace out.
Do your part. Stay apart, you know. Bye, guys.
Bye.